July 14th, 2023. Sarah matches with the same man on 3 different dating apps. Same face, different names. She reverse image searches him. His obituary pops up. Died 3 years ago, but he's still messaging her, still asking her out. And when she finds out who's really behind that profile, she realizes she's been talking to a killer. Sarah stares at the screen. Her heart is pounding because the messages keep coming. Hey, how's your night going? You seem interesting. Want to grab coffee? I'd love to get to know you better. But the man sending them has been dead for 3 years. So who is she really talking to? Is it his brother? A friend using his photos as some kind of sick tribute? Or is it something darker? Sarah starts digging. She creates fake profiles, matches with him again, and again. And every time, it's the same photos, the same smooth lines, the same charm. But here's what doesn't make sense. Why would someone use a dead man's photos? Photos that can be traced. Photos that lead straight to an obituary. Unless they didn't know he was dead, or unless they wanted to be caught. Because when Sarah finally connects the dots, she realizes something chilling. She's not the first woman he's contacted. And the others, they've gone silent. Let's rewind. 6 months earlier, Sarah Chen, 29 years old, data analyst living in Seattle, the kind of person who color codes her calendar and triple checks her sources. Logical, skeptical, the friend who always says that doesn't make sense when everyone else believes the story. She doesn't believe in ghosts, doesn't believe in fate. Barely believes in love anymore, because 3 months ago, her boyfriend of 4 years left. No warning, just a text that said, "I can't do this anymore." And then, silence. So her friends did what friends do. They told her to get back out there, download the apps, just see what happens. You don't have to meet anyone, they said. Just swipe. Have fun with it. So she did. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and for a while it was mindless, boring even. The same generic profiles, the same bad pickup lines. Until she saw him. His name was Ethan Hayes, or at least that's what the profile said. 34, software engineer, loved hiking, craft beer, and golden retrievers. But it was the photos that stopped her. He wasn't just handsome, he was magnetic. The kind of face that felt familiar, even though she'd never seen it before. Warm smile, kind eyes, the type of guy who looked like he'd remember your coffee order. She swiped right. It's a match, she smiled. Felt that little flutter. You know the one. But he never messaged, and she didn't either. Life got busy, she forgot about it, until 2 weeks later. She's on Bumble. Different app, different day, and there he is again. Same photos, different name this time. Evan Hart, she laughs it off. Okay, this guy's really working all the apps. She swipes right again, just to see. Another match. Again. No message. Then it happens a third time. On Hinge, same face, another name, Ethan Harrison. Now it's not funny anymore. Now it's weird, because his bio is different each time. Different job, different hobbies. But the photos? Identical. Sarah's a data analyst. Patterns are her thing. And this is a pattern. So she does what any rational person would do. She screenshots the photos, opens Google, reverse image search, and she waits. The results load, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and then something else. A news article. Local man dies in hiking accident. Her stomach drops. She clicks it, and there he is. Ethan Michael Hayes, 31 years old. Died August 17th, 2020. Fell from a cliff during a solo hike in the Cascades. Body recovered 3 days later. Survived by his mother, Janet Hayes, and sister, Claire. Sarah stares at the screen. The date. 3 years ago. 3 years. She refreshes the dating apps. His profiles are still there. Still active. Active 2 hours ago. Her hands are shaking now, because whoever is using his photos, they're online right now. Swiping, matching. Messaging other women, pretending to be a dead man. And Sarah realizes something that makes her blood run cold. She could have been talking to them. She could have met them. If they had just messaged first. That night, she doesn't sleep. She lies in bed, staring at the ceiling, phone clutched in her hand. And she makes a decision. She's going to find out who's behind those profiles, no matter what it takes. Sarah can't let it go. For 3 days, she obsesses over it, scrolling through his obituary, reading every comment, every tribute. Rest in peace, Ethan. You were one of the good ones. Gone too soon. We'll miss you, brother. His mother's post, dated August 20th, 2020. My beautiful boy, my heart is shattered. I don't know how to live in a world without you. Sarah feels sick reading it. Because whoever is using his photos, they're desecrating his memory, using a dead man's face to lure women. She has to do something. So she starts investigating. She creates a fake profile, uses a random photo from the internet, swipes until she finds him again. This time, his name is Evan Mitchell. She matches, and she waits. 2 hours later, a message pops up. Hey there, how's your night going? Her heart races. She responds, Pretty good. You? The conversation flows. He's charming, funny, asks about her day, remembers details. It feels real. But Sarah knows it's not. After a few days of messaging, she decides to push. You look so familiar. Do I know you from somewhere? A long pause. Then, I just have one of those faces, I guess. She goes further. No, seriously. I swear I've seen your photo before. What's your last name? Another pause. Longer this time. Then, Hayes. Ethan Hayes. Sarah's blood turns to ice. He's using his real name. She types back, hands shaking. That's so weird. I think I found you on LinkedIn. Cool. Yeah, I'm a software engineer. It says here you went to University of Washington? Yep. Go Huskies. Every answer matches the real Ethan's life. His real school, his real job, his real biography. Whoever this is, they know everything about him. Sarah takes a breath, and she goes for it. This might sound crazy, but are you from Seattle? I swear I saw a news article about someone with your exact name. The typing bubble appears, then disappears, then appears again. Finally, you must be thinking of someone else. Are you sure? Because the guy in the article? He died in 2120. The typing stops. 1 minute passes. 2 minutes. 5. He's gone. Sarah refreshes the app. His profile has vanished. Deleted. She checks Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. Gone. All of them. Wiped clean. Her heart is pounding. She spooked him. But at least it's over, right? He's gone. He'll move on to someone who doesn't ask questions. Except, that night, Sarah is lying in bed, scrolling mindlessly through her phone. And then it happens. A notification. Instagram. A new message request. From an account with no profile picture. No posts. No followers. The username is just a string of random numbers. She opens it, and her stomach drops. You shouldn't have searched for me. Sarah's hands start shaking. She stares at the message, reads it again, and again. How does he know it was her? She used a fake profile, a fake name, a random photo. Another message comes through. I know who you are, Sarah. She drops her phone. Her real name. He knows her real name. She picks it back up, hands trembling, and types, Who are you? The typing bubble appears immediately. Someone who doesn't like being investigated. Sarah's mind is racing. Should she block him? Call the police? Delete everything? Before she can decide, another message. You live on Capitol Hill, don't you? Cute neighborhood. Her heart stops. He knows where she lives. Now she's terrified. She screenshots everything, blocks the account, and she calls the police. The operator answers. 911, what's your emergency? Someone's threatening me online. They know where I live. They're pretending to be someone who died 3 years ago. Okay, ma'am. Stay calm. Are you in danger right now? I don't know. I don't think so. But we'll send an officer to your location. Can you give me your address? She does. And 20 minutes later, 2 officers are at her door. She shows them everything. The dating profiles, the obituary, the messages. One officer, a woman in her 40s, scrolls through the screenshots. This is definitely harassment, she says. We'll file a report. Do you have any idea who might be doing this? No, that's the thing. I don't know who he is, but he's using the identity of a man who died in 2020, Ethan Hayes. The officers exchange a glance. We'll look into it, the other one says. In the meantime, keep your doors locked. Don't engage with him anymore. They leave, and Sarah feels slightly better, slightly safer. But that feeling doesn't last long, because 2 days later, the officer calls her back. Ms. Chen, this is Officer Ramirez. I need to ask you something. Okay. You said the messages were coming from someone using the identity of Ethan Hayes, correct? Yes. Well, we traced the IP address from the Instagram account that messaged you. Sarah's heart races. And? It's coming from an apartment in Ballard. The address is 42.26 Leary Ave, NW. Okay, whose apartment is it? There's a long pause. It was Ethan Hayes' apartment, the man who died in 2020. Sarah feels the room tilt. That's impossible. I know, but that's what the trace shows. Someone is logging in from his old apartment. Who lives there now? That's the thing. According to records, no one. It's been vacant since his death. His family never sold it. It's just been sitting there, empty. Sarah can't breathe, empty, for 3 years. And someone is inside, using his Wi-Fi, his space, his identity. We're sending a unit to check it out, Officer Ramirez says. I'll call you when we know more. Sarah hangs up, and for the first time, she wonders, what if it's not a scammer? What if Ethan Hayes never really left? The police arrive at Ethan Hayes' old apartment at 11:47 p.m. 4 officers, flashlights, weapons drawn. The building manager meets them outside with the key. His hands are shaking. No one's been in there, he says, not since the family cleared out his stuff in 2020. I've been by a few times to check on it. It's always locked, always empty. The officers don't say anything. They just nod. They unlock the door, and they step inside. The apartment is dark, cold. The air smells stale, like a place that's been sealed shut for years. They sweep every room, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, nothing. No one's there. But in the living room, on a small desk by the window, they find it. A laptop. Closed, but plugged in. The charging light glowing faintly in the darkness. One of the officers opens it. The screen lights up. No password. It opens straight to the desktop. And there, right in the center of the screen, multiple browser tabs, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Instagram, all logged in, all active. The officer leans closer, clicks on one of the tabs. Messages, dozens of them. Conversations with different women, all happening in real time. Jesus, he mutters. They bag the laptop, dust for prints, photograph everything, and they call Sarah. Ms. Chen, we found the source. There was a laptop in the apartment. Someone's been using it to run those profiles. Sarah feels a strange mix of relief and dread. Who? Who's doing this? We don't know yet. We're running forensics. But we'll find out. The case lands on the desk of Detective Rachel Miller. 15 years with Seattle PD, specialist in cybercrimes and digital harassment. She's seen catfishing before. Lots of it. Scams, romance fraud, identity theft. But this is different, because the person behind the profiles isn't trying to steal money, isn't asking for gift cards or wire transfers. They're just talking, flirting, building connections, and then vanishing. Detective Miller starts pulling records. She tracks the dating profiles, all created within the last 6 months. Different names, different bios. But always the same photos. Always Ethan Hayes. She pulls his case file, the one from 2020. Ethan Michael Hayes, 31 years old, found dead at the base of a cliff in the North Cascades. Cause of death, blunt force trauma, ruled accidental. He'd gone on a solo hike, told his family he'd be back by Sunday. When he didn't return, they reported him missing. Search and rescue found his body 3 days later. No signs of foul play, no witnesses, just a tragic accident. But Detective Miller notices something. In the weeks before his death, Ethan had been active on dating apps, talking to several women. One of them, a woman named Jessica Lorne, was the last person to message him. The day before he died. Miller tracks her down, calls her. Ms. Lorne, this is Detective Miller with Seattle PD. I'm investigating a case involving Ethan Hayes. I believe you knew him? There's a long silence. Yeah, Jessica finally says. Her voice is quiet. We matched on Bumble, talked for a couple weeks. We were supposed to meet up, but he never showed. And then I saw the news. Did anything seem off about him? Anything strange in your conversations? No, he seemed normal, sweet, actually. He talked about hiking a lot, said he loved getting away from the city. Did he ever mention anyone else? A roommate? A friend? Another pause. Yeah, once. He mentioned his roommate. Said the guy was going through a rough time, breakup or something. I remember because Ethan seemed really worried about him. Do you remember his name? I think it was Daniel, or maybe David. Something with a D? Detective Miller writes it down. Thank you, Ms. Lorne. She hangs up, and she digs deeper. Ethan's lease, his apartment records, and there it is, a co-signer on the lease. Daniel Cross. Miller runs his name. 33 years old. Software developer. Lived with Ethan from 2018 to 2020. But after Ethan's death, Daniel disappeared. No forwarding address, no social media updates, no credit card activity. It's like he vanished. Miller pulls his DMV photo. Dark hair, thin face, glasses, unremarkable. She stares at the image, and then she does something on a hunch. She opens the dating app screenshots Sarah sent over. The conversations, the messages, the writing style. She compares them to Ethan's old social media posts, his texts, his emails from the case file, and they don't match. Ethan was casual, used emojis, typed in lowercase. But the messages from the catfish profiles? Proper grammar, full sentences, almost formal. This isn't Ethan's voice, it's someone imitating him. Miller keeps digging. She pulls Daniel Cross's employment records, his old emails, his writing samples from work, and her stomach sinks, because the style matches, the tone, the phrasing, the formality. Daniel Cross is the one behind the profiles. But why? Miller goes back to the apartment. This time she searches it herself, and in the closet, behind a stack of old boxes. She finds it, a journal, worn, leather-bound, filled with handwriting. She opens it. The first entry is dated July 2019. I don't know how to tell him. He's my best friend, the only person who's ever really seen me. But I can't keep living like this, pretending, hiding. Miller flips through the pages. Entry after entry, All about Ethan. He went on another date tonight. She seemed nice. He showed me her picture, and I smiled. I said she was great, but inside, I wanted to scream. Miller's heart starts to race. I know it's wrong. I know he'll never feel the same way, but I can't help it. I love him. I've always loved him. She keeps reading. The entries get darker. He's leaving. He got a job offer in Portland. He's moving in 2 months, and I don't know what I'll do without him. And then, the final entry, dated August 16th, 2020, one day before Ethan died. I told him today, on the trail. I finally told him how I felt, and he didn't know what to say. He said he was flattered, but that he didn't feel the same way, that he hoped we could still be friends. And I knew, in that moment, I knew I'd lost him. I don't remember what happened next, but when I looked down, he was gone. Miller closes the journal. Her hands are shaking, because she just found a confession. Daniel Cross didn't just disappear after Ethan's death. He caused it. And now, he's been living in Ethan's apartment, using his photos, his identity, his life, pretending to be the man he killed, the man he loved, the man he could never have. Detective Miller puts out an APB, Daniel Cross, wanted for questioning in the death of Ethan Hayes, but here's the problem. No one's seen him in 3 years. No credit cards, no bank accounts, no phone records. It's like he's a ghost. Until 2 weeks later, a woman named Brianna Giles reports a strange encounter on Hinge. She matched with someone named Ethan Hart. They talked for days. He seemed perfect. And then he asked to meet. She said yes. They agreed on a coffee shop in Fremont. 2 p.m. on Saturday, Brianna showed up early, nervous, excited. She waited and waited. He never came. But as she was leaving, she saw him, across the street, watching her. The same face from the photos, the same blue eyes. But something was wrong. He was different, thinner, older, wearing glasses. And when their eyes met, he ran. Brianna called the police, and Detective Miller knew. Daniel Cross is still out there, still watching, still pretending, and he's not done yet. Brianna's sighting changes everything, because now they know Daniel Cross is still in Seattle, still active, still hunting. Detective Miller puts together a task force. They monitor the dating apps, set up fake profiles, coordinate with the platforms. And they wait. 3 days later, he takes the bait. A decoy account. 28-year-old woman. Brunette. Works in tech. Loves hiking. Exactly Ethan's type. He matches with her. Messages within an hour. Hey, you seem really interesting. I'd love to get to know you. The undercover officer responds. Keeps the conversation going. They talk for 2 days, and then he asks, "Would you want to grab coffee sometime? There's this great place in Ballard." She agrees. They set a time. Saturday. 3 p.m. The trap is set. Saturday arrives. Plainclothes officers are everywhere. Inside the coffee shop, across the street, in unmarked cars. The decoy officer sits at a corner table, laptop open, coffee in hand. She waits. 3:00 p.m. comes and goes. 3:15. 3:30. He's not coming. But then, her phone buzzes. A message. "I'm here. I can see you." Her heart rate spikes. She looks around. Doesn't see anyone matching Daniel's description. She types back. "Where are you? Come in." Another message. "Not yet. I want to make sure you're real." The officer signals to her team. They start scanning the area. "What do you mean?" she types. "I've been fooled before. People pretending to be someone they're not." The irony isn't lost on her. "I'm real, I promise. Come say hi." A long pause. Then, "Turn around." She does. And there, standing outside the window, is a man. Thin, glasses, dark hair streaked with gray. Daniel Cross. He's staring right at her, and he's smiling. The officer gives the signal. Officers move in from every direction. But Daniel doesn't run. He just stands there, watching, smiling, until they're right behind him. Daniel Cross, you're under arrest. He doesn't resist, doesn't say a word. They cuff him, read him his rights, and as they're walking him to the car, he looks back at the coffee shop, at the officer in the window, and he mouths two words, "Not her." At the station, Detective Miller sits across from Daniel Cross. The interrogation room is small, cold, fluorescent lights humming overhead. Daniel looks calm, almost peaceful, like he's been expecting this. Miller opens the case file, places photos on the table. Ethan Hayes, the dating profiles, the journal. "Tell me about Ethan," she says. Daniel stares at the photo. His eyes soften. "He was everything," he says quietly. "My best friend. The only person who ever really understood me. You lived together. For 2 years. Best 2 years of my life. And you were in love with him." Daniel doesn't answer right away. He just keeps staring at the photo. "Yes," he finally says, "I was in love with him for years, but I never told him because I knew it would ruin everything. Until the day he died." Daniel's jaw tightens. "I told him on the trail. We were hiking, just the two of us, and I thought, maybe this is my chance. Maybe if we're away from everything, I can finally be honest." "What did he say?" "He said," Daniel's voice cracks, "he said he didn't feel the same way, that he loved me as a friend, but that's all it could ever be." Miller leans forward. "And then what happened? We kept hiking. It was awkward, silent, and then we got to the cliff. The view was beautiful. Ethan walked to the edge to take a photo, and I stood there, watching him." "Did you push him?" Daniel looks up. His eyes are wet. "No." "Then what happened?" "He slipped. The rocks were loose. He lost his footing. And he reached for me. And I—" He stops, swallows hard. "I froze. I just stood there, watching him fall. I could have grabbed him, could have saved him, but I didn't move." Miller feels a chill run down her spine. "So, you let him die." "I didn't kill him," Daniel says, his voice firm, "but I didn't save him either." He wipes his eyes. "And every day since, I've lived with that. The guilt, the regret, knowing that the last thing he felt was betrayal. From me." "So you started using his identity, his photos, pretending to be him online." Daniel nods slowly. "At first, it was just to feel close to him, to see the world the way he did, to talk to people the way he would. But it became more than that. Yes." Daniel looks down at his hands. "I couldn't let him go. And the more I became him, the more I felt like he was still here, still alive, still with me. You were catfishing dozens of women, manipulating them, terrorizing them." "I never hurt anyone," Daniel says quickly. "I just talked to them, made them feel special, the way Ethan made people feel." "You threatened Sarah Chen, told her you knew where she lived." Daniel's expression darkens. "She was getting too close, asking too many questions. I had to scare her off." "Why? What were you afraid she'd find?" Daniel doesn't answer. Miller pulls out another photo, places it on the table. It's a woman, blonde, mid-30s, smiling. "Do you know who this is?" Daniel stares at the photo. His face goes pale. That's Rebecca. Rebecca Hollis. She went missing 6 months ago. Last seen after meeting someone from a dating app." Daniel shakes his head. No, I didn't. She matched with a profile using Ethan Hayes' photos. They talked for weeks, and then she agreed to meet him. That wasn't me." "Really?" "Because her last known location was Ethan's old apartment, the same apartment where we found the laptop." Daniel's breathing quickens. I didn't touch her. I swear. I just talked to her online. That's all. Miller leans in close. Then where is she, Daniel? I don't know. Did you meet her? No. Then who did? Daniel's hands are shaking now. I don't know. Miller pulls out another photo. Another woman. Different face. Same story. Melissa Grant. Missing 4 months ago. Another photo. Jenna Park. Missing 2 months ago. 3 women. All missing. All last seen after matching with Ethan Hayes online. Daniel is hyperventilating now. I didn't hurt them. I didn't. I only ever talked to them. I never met any of them in person. Then who did? And that's when it clicks. Daniel looks up. His face goes white. Oh my God. What? Someone else has access to the profiles. Miller's blood runs cold. What are you talking about? The laptop, in the apartment. I wasn't the only one using it. Who else? Daniel's voice is barely a whisper. I don't know, but about 8 months ago, I noticed things changing. Messages I didn't send. Conversations I didn't have. At first, I thought I was losing my mind, but then I realized someone else was logging in. Why didn't you stop them? I couldn't. They changed the passwords, locked me out. I tried to shut it all down, but… He looks up at Miller, eyes wide with fear. Whoever it is, they're still out there, still using Ethan's face, still meeting these women. Miller stands up. And doing what with them? Daniel shakes his head, tears streaming down his face. I don't know, but if those women are missing, it's not because of me. It's because of whoever took over the profiles. Miller walks out of the room. Her mind is racing, because if Daniel's telling the truth, then they've been chasing the wrong person this whole time. Someone else is out there. Someone who's been watching Daniel, using his obsession, his grief, to lure women and make them disappear. Detective Miller rushes back to the tech lab. Pull every login from that laptop, every IP address, every access point. The tech analyst works fast, pulls the data, and there it is. 2 different IP addresses accessing the same accounts. One from Ethan's old apartment. That's Daniel, but the other… Where's this coming from? Miller asks. The analyst traces it, and his face goes pale. It's coming from Maple Valley, a residential address. Whose? He pulls the property records, and Miller's stomach drops, because the address belongs to Janet Hayes, Ethan's mother. Why would a grieving mother have access to her dead son's dating profiles? Miller grabs her keys. I'm going to Maple Valley. Send backup. The house looks normal. Too normal. Janet Hayes answers the door. Late 50s, cardigan, tea in hand. She looks like someone's grandmother. Inside, photos of Ethan cover every wall. A shrine. Miller asks about the fake profiles. I'm the one who created them, Janet says calmly. I couldn't let him go. I found his old phone, still logged into dating apps. At first, I just pretended he was still here, but then I realized these women didn't deserve him. They were shallow, swiping mindlessly. What did you do? I tested them, and if they passed, I invited them to meet. What happened to them, Janet? Janet walks to the back room, Ethan's bedroom, frozen in time. But there are bars on the window, a lock on the door from outside, a mattress in the corner. Miller hears a sound from below. She kicks open the basement door. 3 women, alive, chained to the wall. Rebecca, Melissa, Jenna. Please help us, one whispers. Miller radios for backup. Why? She asks Janet. Janet smiles, sad, broken. They got to meet him. I couldn't let them leave. They were the closest thing I had left to my son. The women are rescued. Janet is arrested. Sarah Chen watches the news. She realizes she could have been number 4. She deletes every dating app. Daniel Cross is released. No charges, but he has nowhere to go. He spent 3 years living as someone else. The three women recover slowly, but they'll never be the same. Sarah never dates online again, but sometimes she thinks about the real Ethan, who died alone, never knowing his face would be used to lure women into darkness. Ethan's profiles are finally taken down, but his story lives on, a cautionary tale that keeps people wondering, who are they really talking to? And what happens when you swipe right on the wrong person? The person smiling in that profile photo might not be who they claim. They might be someone's grief, someone's obsession, someone's unfinished business. So let me ask you, would you have swiped right if you knew the truth? Would you have kept talking to him? Would you have agreed to meet? Or would you have blocked him the moment something felt off? Drop a comment below. Tell me, do you think Ethan's death was really an accident? Or was there something darker happening on that mountain? And here's the real question. After hearing this story, would you keep swiping? Because I have more stories like this. Stories that will make you think twice before hitting that match button. Like the bride who texted from the afterlife. Or the man who found his missing wife on Tinder. These stories are real, and they're waiting for you. So if you want to hear them, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications, because every week I'm bringing you twisted love stories and real-life mysteries that prove. Sometimes the scariest thing in the world is the person on the other side of the screen. Thanks